Doom, we all love it. One of the best, if not the best, shooter game of all time, with an incredible reboot back in 2016 for Bethesda. And whether your favorite game in the series is the 2016 reboot, Doom Eternal, or the newly released Doom the Dark Ages, I think we all know who the Doomslayer is, the person we play as in all three of the reboots, as well as a good chunk of the older games. There's an argument for every game to be the best one, and in my opinion, I would say they're all incredible games, works of art I would say. Debatably, some of, if not the best shooters in the genre, and no doubt the best reboot of a video game series to have ever happened. With this being said, I love Doom the Dark Ages. I know it's rather controversial for a lot of people, as it's not as fast-paced, but I actually completely agree with the developers. And they said, and I quote,
"In Doom Eternal, you felt like a fighter jet. In Doom the Dark Ages, you'll be an iron tank. Heavy, strong, but still fast. A grounded combat system with an emphasis on power over the acrobatics of Doom Eternal."
Which I completely agree with. A lot of people say that this isn't accurate, but I think it's a very reasonable estimation of what is happening in this situation, especially during the gameplay in certain parts like the bosses. And with that being said, I personally do think that all of the hate surrounding the game of Doom the Dark Ages isn't really necessary, as I think it's a really good game overall. It may not be as good as Doom Eternal or, to some people, Doom 2016, but it has its own advantages and disadvantages to the other games. I mean, I won't in any way say that Doom the Dark Ages is the best game in the reboot series, or even the whole series in general. But I do think that I hold a pretty equivalent standard for all three of the Doom reboots, and I actually prefer all three reboot games over the original games. Which, to be completely honest with you, is most likely because I am not good with arrow keys for aiming. For me, the main thing that makes up for that is just the fact that this was the original WASD keybinds for a shooter game in particular, or actually just in any game in general. Using WASD has always been so helpful to me, as I was never good with arrow keys. So that gives the original trilogy a pass because of just how revolutionary that idea was of using WASD rather than the arrow keys. Oh yeah, and for those of you that have a keen ear, yes, this was recorded over multiple weeks from multiple different locations. That's why it's so all around the place. Heck, this is from like 5 different scripts. So, it may be a little incoherent sometimes, but you're just gonna have to deal with it. I mean, this was originally supposed to come out before my first review on Doom the Dark Ages. I believe that was the one on Synthetic Man. So, this might be a little... I love the... By the way, yeah, so the reason it's gonna be so incoherent and so, indirectional, let's say, is obviously because there's multiple scripts, and I'm sorry for not getting out a Doom video sooner. I know that was promised a while back, and I've been trying to find something to do it on, but, you know, when the Act Man video came out, I don't think I went on it fast enough because so many people already reviewed that, and I don't want to be too repetitive with my content, because I like making genuine commentary. But just so I wanted to get something out just to be able to tell you guys, you know, kind of what's happening, like behind the scenes, if that makes sense. But I'm currently trying to work on a lot of things right now. Only some of it is going to be Doom content. I will try to focus mostly around Doom content, especially once I find more things to commentate on. But at the moment, there's not as much to commentate on. So right now, once I'm done with a major full Doom the Dark Ages review that I have being worked on right now, and by work done I mean like 20 seconds of work into it, once I have that done, I will probably have a lot less Doom content, just because I don't know what to do with the Doom content from there. So sorry about that, but if you guys have any Doom content suggestions, actually just comment them below, and I will see what I can do, you know? With that being said, I'd like to get into just some of the scripts that this was originally planned on being before I switched the original idea over to just making a Synthetic Man review. Originally, I was planning on a lot of things actually, especially after I saw how well the Synthetic Man one did out. But I didn't really know where to go with that, and I didn't really know much that I could do compassionately, because I wasn't able to find as much content on Doom the Dark Ages anymore, just because it was slightly older at that point and there was less people reviewing it. But some of the original content ideas I was having here was just a Doom, the whole franchise, just the whole franchise of Doom, like a retrospective type video. And then another one I was working on was, oh god, the Doom Slayer, and I think I was gonna try to put him up against fictional villains. I think, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I don't know where that one was going. And then I also had one on, I was working on about a tier list of the Doom recreation games, and then I transitioned that into the older Doom games before Bethesda rebooted them. So those were two of the ideas I had, but I ended up scrapping all of that for the reviews, which you guys seem to really like, so I'm glad I did that. But um, if there's anything you'd like to see, again, please just comment it below. That would tell me just what you guys want, you know? And with that being said, I think I'm going to end this video here, just because I wanted to get this what I've been doing type video out as soon as possible, even though this has been weeks in the making, even though it's not even that long. So truly, guys, thank you so much for the support. We just recently, as of recording this and hopefully uploading it, hopefully I don't upload it like 3 days later, as of recording and hopefully updating this, I have hit over 200 subscribers, and I skyrocketed to that after I was below 100, I think, less than 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure the exacts, but thank you guys so much for all of the love and support on the most recent videos, specifically the Doom the Dark Ages reviews, because that really did mean a lot to me. So if there's again, thank you all so much, and I will see you next time. Doom outro, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so today we're looking at a video by the YouTuber Under the Mayo. I got the idea for this video from you guys, so I hope you enjoy. And lastly, before we start the review, thank you guys so much for the recent support on my other video. It really did mean a lot to me. And with that being said, let's get into the real review. Alright, the video we are looking at today is 10 Things I Hate About Doom Eternal. Now, his first point I genuinely can see as a fair opinion, as it is just about how he doesn't like the time gap between Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, which I don't really have a problem with.